Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are looking at a genuinely fascinating paradox found in the Bible. We're uncovering the ultimate value of God's kingdom and, honestly, why really grasping this completely changes your life today. We're going to explore what it truly means to value one single thing absolutely above all else.
So let's ground our whole explainer right away in this specific verse, Matthew 13:44. The verse reads, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field." It just completely begs the foundational question of our topic today, right? What is worth absolutely everything to you?
All right, here's our roadmap. 1. The ultimate hidden treasure. 2. Historical context and parables. 3. Lesson 1. Joyful surrender. 4. Lesson 2. The familiarity trap. 5. Steps for college students. And 6. Conclusion. Choose what matters. Let's get right into it. Part 1. The ultimate hidden treasure. Summarizing the big picture. Let's get a high-level view of what this passage reveals about true value.
Here are the key findings we'll be unpacking. First, the supreme value of God's kingdom. It's not just some nice add-on to your life, It literally is the ultimate prize. Second, we're going to uncover the blinding nature of familiarity, how it actually hurts us. And third, we'll look at the stark contrast between joyful surrender and cold resistance.
Moving on to historical context and parables, setting the scene in the Bible. We really need to know where Jesus was and exactly who he was talking to.
Notice how the narrative dramatically shifts here. In Phase 1, Jesus is teaching these profound truths about the kingdom using parables about hidden treasures. But then, in Phase 2, he travels back to his hometown. And by Phase 3, the response is just staggering. Instead of awe, the hometown crowd questions him, asking, "Isn't this just the carpenter's son?" It's wild. He goes from revealing life-altering truths to facing a crowd that only sees a familiar local guy.
Which brings us to Lesson 1, Joyful Surrender. The kingdom is worth any cost.
Now, the motivation behind giving literally everything up is fascinating. The key word here is joy. Joy is defined as the glad realization that what is gained far outweighs what is surrendered. That man in the field, he doesn't sell everything out of guilt or some heavy sense of obligation. No way. He does it out of pure joy because he's done the math. And the treasure easily, hands down, wins.
Let's apply this directly to your college experience. Following Jesus costs time, comfort, and priorities, but it is a trade for something far better. For a student, this means trading your specific priorities, like studying late on a Friday, your social comfort in the dorms, or even deep career anxieties, for the ultimate treasure. Once you truly see its worth, surrender actually becomes a joy, not just another burden on your busy schedule.
That leads us right into Lesson 2, the familiarity trap. Don't miss Jesus because he feels familiar.
Look at this stark contrast between the two theories presented here. On one hand, we have joyful surrender, gladly giving up everything for ultimate value. But then, right against that, we have resistant familiarity, failing to see Jesus because he feels too familiar. The hometown crowd thought they already knew him, so they completely stopped being amazed. These are two totally different reactions to the exact same infinite value.
The absolutely crucial point here is that when Jesus becomes too familiar, your heart can slowly become resistant without you even realizing it. Sometimes, the greatest barrier to your faith on campus isn't outright rejection, it's just simple indifference. You might have grown up going to youth group, reading the Bible, but because Jesus feels so familiar, your heart just kind of hardens. You end up just going through the spiritual motions.
So how do we fight this? Well, viewing this through the lens of Reformed Calvinism theology, we recognize our absolute dependence on God. We rely on God's sovereignty to keep our hearts soft and to renew our awe of who he is. We can't just manufacture this awe through our own willpower. Actually, scratch that. It's impossible on our own. We need his grace and his sovereign power to open our eyes and protect us from that indifference.
All right, steps for college students, living it out. Let's translate this deep theology into a practical process.
Here is a step-by-step process for your daily life. Step 1. Ask what you value most right now. Honestly, look at your calendar and your bank account. Step 2. Let go of anything pulling you away, whether that's a toxic relationship, an unhealthy obsession with your GPA, or just endless daily distractions. And Step 3. Choose to follow him with joy. By dropping those distractions and choosing him gladly, you're living out the truth of that hidden treasure right on your campus.
Finally, conclusion. Choose what matters. Final thoughts on the research.
We've covered the historical context, the contrast between joy and familiarity, and the practical steps. Now I want to leave you with this provocative final thought. If your life shows what you value most, what does it say about how you see God's kingdom? Really look at your daily choices as a student, your Friday nights, your Monday mornings. Do they reflect the supreme worth of His kingdom? Are you that joyful man in the field, or just another familiar face in the hometown crowd? Choose what matters most. Thank you for joining me in this explainer. Keep learning, keep seeking, and stay focused.